What's up guys, Readiness Reviews back with you again. It is once more ration review time. Today we have a Patrol Ration Pack Occidental Menu 2. This is a United Nations ration pack. I believe it is meant for a 12-hour period of consumption. However, it could be an 8-hour ration. Being in this bag like this, it looks very similar to the UK Operational Ration Pack 12-hour meal. And that is because this is produced in the UK for use by UN soldiers. On the front here, we have a contents list in English. We have a gross weight, 0.9 kilograms, so almost a kilogram. The best by date is May 2020. It is currently July, so this is a little bit past the best by date. It was packed March 13th, 2018. One of the things that keys it off to being a UN ration and not a UK ration is that on the reverse here, it has that same information but in French, and French is one of the 2 official UN languages. The TTI on this looks excellent, so it should be in good condition still. The plastic on the outside of this bag is very similar to that of a US MRE, maybe a little bit thinner mill. And this ration has some head to it, but luckily it has a nice little carry handle. This was Occidental Menu number 2. Occidental basically just means Western. There's several variations of this. There's a halal, I believe there is a Hindi version, and there are also vegetarian versions. This is supposed to be in line with a standard Western dietary requirement. Since we are looking at a UN ration, I figure we'll open this with an Imperial Ireland knife. I've had this knife in my possession since I was about 4 years old. I want to save this package for display purposes, so I think I'm going to do a little incision on the bottom here. That should be big enough to get everything out. Right away we have our main, this is a heavy pouch. Not for resale, UN consumption only. Chicken and vegetable curry with rice. That sounds really good. Huge ingredients list on that. It's in English and French, just like everything on this ration is. Massive 350 gram retort pouch. And it looks like this was actually packed in 2017, so it does have some age on it. However, it's not set to go out until September of this year, which doesn't really mean anything. Of course, we know that retort pouches can last way beyond their best buy. It's a pretty nice retort. It's got a gusseted bottom, so it should stand up on its own like that. We have a fruit-flavored isotonic drink powder. Best by 2021. That's a 45 gram pack of powder. Product name, protein drink powder, apple flavor. I was really hoping I wouldn't get this because I've seen this in several other reviews and it looks thoroughly disgusting to me, but we would be trying that out anyway. I noticed that the kcal values on these is a little weird. It gives you the information for 100 grams, although this pack is less than 100 grams, so that's a little weird. I guess 2 of these would equal about 378 kcals, give or take. Tropical fruit and nut mix, packed November 2017. This is a weird little guy. Choco Bar Candy Bar with chocolate flavoring. That is a weird way to describe a chocolate bar. Maybe because the main ingredient in this is sugar followed by hydrogenated vegetable oil. So I guess there's very little chocolate actually in this chocolate bar. We have a tiny little fruit sweet. Besides sugar and glucose, it looks like the top ingredient on that is apple. A Bun Apple. I believe this is going to be quite similar to one of those Bridgeford shelf-stable breads with filling on the inside. Looks like that's 320 kcals, 53 grams of carbs, 22 grams of sugar, and only 4 grams of protein. And what an extensive ingredients list on that guy. We have a very large flameless ration heater. Looks like the instructions on this are in several languages. This just in there by itself, a tiny little pack of iodized salt, only 2 grams, packed in the UK. Dental chewing gum. Feels like there's several little briquettes in there. The infamous Sesame Seed Bar. Best buy on that is next month, August 2020. This thing gets a lot of hate from a lot of people. I have yet to try one though. We have another little loose pack. This one is pepper, also 2 grams like the salt. There's a couple little leaflets in here. Looks like this one is a breakdown of all the contents and nutrition. A feedback form with some little emoji faces on it, so the soldiers can let the producers know whether or not they like the ration. And we have a accessory bag. Has some little vent holes in it. In that we have 4 water purification tablets. Each one of these tablets is meant for 1.5 liters. That's actually pretty good. 2 wet wipes, a pack of tissue paper. Looks like there's 10 sheets in there. A Ziploc bag. This is most likely for water purification reasons. You fill this bag up and then throw your water purification tabs in it. But there are endless uses for both Ziplocs and rubber bands, which they include. And lastly, we have our little cutlery set. These actually seem pretty beefy. We got a knife, a spoon that has a rather large trough to it, and a fork. That is quite a bit of stuff for a single meal. That's why I do believe the troops would only be issued 2 of these per day. Let's go ahead and get all this plated up and we'll start checking everything out. Man, that is a ton of stuff. It actually proved difficult to fit everything in frame, but I think I got pretty much everything. I think we'll start out right with getting the FRH going with the main. This is a huge heater bag. It has a little tear notch. The actual heating element looks a lot like the one in O'Mill's heaters, I think. There's a lot of powder in it. This should heat quite nicely. There's a fill line at the bottom, so we'll fill it up to that line. Give this a little fold over, and we'll invert it to get that whole pad nice and wet. They include a little piece of tape so you can tape it shut. It sounds like it's starting to take off a little bit. Oh yeah, it's cranking now. It is loud and it's putting off a lot of steam. Let's get on to our drinks. I think we'll look at our protein powder first. The apple flavored protein powder does have a tear notch, nice and convenient. There's a look at the powder. Sort of an off-white color, slightly tinged of green it looks like. And that smells like really gross artificial apple. Fake apple is like my least favorite flavor of anything. I'd rather have orange or even grape. I doubt I'm gonna like this, but we'll prepare it anyway. We'll give it a shot. Just like the majority of the British produced drinks, this calls for 500 mils. I'm gonna pour in about half first and give it a little mix around. It's sort of a milky color. It is slightly greenish, foamy looking. Now that I got that stirring started, we'll pour in the rest of the water. Yeah, this is not looking like a very appetizing drink to me. This is just not my thing. But looks can be deceiving. Maybe I'll end up liking it. All right, that's looking pretty good for now. We'll set that aside. We are about out of room here. We'll try to get this other drink going. The fruit flavored isotonic beverage powder. The powder is completely white, it looks like. And that does not smell good. It just smells like straight chemical. It has no fruit smell whatsoever. That is very weird. Pour that in our stem glass here. That is a lot of powder for that glass. Being an isotonic drink, this probably has a fair amount of salt in it. Add some water to that. Turning pink now. Seems to be dissolving pretty quickly. I think we'll need to give that one more stir before drinking, but it's looking pretty good for now. Very unique looking drinks in this ration. Well, let's get some of the actual food opened up. I think we'll start out with our Bun Apple. Oh yeah, this looks just like a little Bridgeford bun. It doesn't say where it was packed as far as I can tell, but this could very well be a Bridgeford product. I'm not quite sure. That has a do not eat. We're not gonna eat that. Has an apple cinnamon smell, sort of floppy. Seems pretty bready, but looks pretty good. Look at these sesame bars. And there are 3 of them in there, but of course they are completely fused together. There's no way you're breaking those apart. I love sesame seeds. That actually smells really good to me. Let's check out this fruit sweet. It looks like a jelly bar, sort of sugary on the outside and definitely has a gel consistency. Tropical fruit nut mix. It's a large bag for the amount of stuff that's in there. Ooh, that looks nice though. Just on visual inspection, it seems to be lacking salt, but I see some pieces of coconut, what looks like papaya, peanuts, some raisins, couple banana chips. That's looking pretty good. This might be the weirdest thing in the ration, the Choco Bar. It looks like a dark chocolate. Smells very weak though, like a super cheap milk chocolate. And while we're opening things up, let's go ahead and open up this little pack of gum. This gum package has a resealable Ziploc on it, so you can take it around with you throughout the day. Looks like there's 7 little pieces of chewing gum in there. That's pretty generous. Before we start eating, let's clean up a little bit. We'll check out one of our wet wipes. This is very reminiscent of a US MRE wet wipe. Just that very thin material. It smells a bit nicer though. It has more of a clean scent. Not very much moisture to it, but I think it would get the job done. Let's get a drink of this apple protein drink. Might as well start with what I think is gonna be the worst thing. It has developed a little bit of a head, sort of a cloudy, greenish color, and just has that artificial apple smell that I loathe. Oh no. Oh, that is terrible. It's salty. It's not very sweet. But luckily the apple flavor is not overpowering, but I just don't like this at all. This is terrible. It has sort of a creaminess, almost a milkiness to it. It's not gritty like a lot of protein powder is, but it has this like weird saltiness to it that's really gross. I don't like that one bit. I'll probably still finish it off. You can see I drink about half of it there while I was testing it. I don't like that though. That's not good at all. Take a taste of our Bun Apple. Break this open and check out the inside. It's a lot like a Bridgeford filled French toast or one of their turnovers. A little bit of filling on the inside there. Let's give that a taste. And that is exactly what that tastes like. A doughy Bridgeford filled bread product. Apple cinnamon flavor. More bread than filling. Not overly sweet or anything. This is definitely not the kind of thing you're going to write home about, but they are a quick, easy, and not bad little food product. Let's check out the tropical fruit nut raisin mix. So there's definitely some pieces of papaya in there. Looks like unsalted peanuts, coconut, which I'm a big fan of, shredded dried coconut, pineapple, a couple little various raisins. That looks a little more like a golden raisin or a sultana, banana chip, get a little bit more coconut. There's a good little bit of everything in that bite. Let's try that out. It's a nice mix of chewy and crunchy. I like that. It's got good sweetness from the papaya and the pineapple. And those peanuts, although not salted or roasted, don't taste too bad. Let's check out a piece of that papaya by itself. Wow, that is sugary. Not much in the way of fruit flavor. It's just very sweet. Not bad. If these peanuts would have been roasted, this would have been a top-notch mix. As is, it's still pretty dang good. Check out our infrared thermometer and see how the main is looking. So the outside of the pack there is between about 105 and 110. Saw a little 116 there. That heating element is a whopping 185. Almost 190. That's pretty impressive. And we're looking at about 160 on the back. Not bad at all. Seems that heater has done its job. Oh yeah, that feels nice and warm. The bottom part is way hotter than the top part, but that does feel sufficiently heated. Let's clean up that water with some of our tissue paper packs. They're sort of little single sheets, similar to that of the US MRE toilet paper. This retort pouch has a tear notch. We'll give that a shot. That ripped open nicely. Ooh, I'm already seeing some yellow. Oh, that smells great. Oh, this looks and smells so good. I'm a huge curry fan anyway, and this seems freaking amazing looking. Oh, that smells great. I'm picking up on a little bit of that curry smell. It has a little bit of cumin smell to it. Let's get this on the tray. Look at that. It's just coming out in one big blob. Wow. That's one of the best looking ration beans I've had in a while. A little bit sloppy, don't get me wrong, but I can see actual pieces of vegetable and stuff in it. Oh yeah, this is looking good. I gotta dig straight into this one. Let's get a better look, see what we actually have. Yeah, it's got some nice chunks of stuff. We got peas, we got carrots. Looks like we have several different kinds of rice, both a wild rice and your standard white rice. That looks like some green pepper. See some skins in here that look like tomato skins. Oh, there's chickpeas. The chunks of chicken are very small, but they do seem to be mixed through the sauce pretty evenly. There's like green beans in there as well. Quite the mix of veggies in this thing. Let's get a taste of that. Here's an up close look at it. Looking good, smelling good. Let's give it a taste. Now that is good stuff. It's not superly overpowered in the flavor. It's a little bit subdued, but you can 100% tell this is curry. Has a nice curry powder base to it. I can actually taste actual Indian spices in this as opposed to some of the other curries I've had. This has a cardamom flavor. Of course, it has a turmeric flavor. You can taste the coriander in it. And one flavor I can pick out, apart from everything else, is the cumin flavor. Oh, there's a piece of mushroom. Let's try a piece of the chicken by itself, see how it's doing. It's a dry, small little piece of chicken, but when you try it mixed in with the other stuff like this bite here with a nice big chunk of carrot, everything just mixes together really nice. Yeah, that is good. It's not spicy though. Let's look at this pepper, cracked black pepper. Yeah, just standard black pepper. Let's try that by itself. Nice and strong. That's good. Red pepper would have probably been more fitting for this main, but I am a black pepper fan, so I'm gonna load this up with black pepper, and let's try that with the black pepper. A little bit of added heat, that very characteristic black pepper flavor, certainly doesn't hurt. What would be absolutely perfect with this main would be a little jar of that hot diggity dog sauce. If you really cranked up the heat level on this, I would be all about it. As is, it's still a fantastic main. Let's take a sip of our fruit drink. This is a little bit acidic, a little bit bitter. I want to say this is grapefruit. That's grapefruit 100%. That's what that tastes like to me. I mean, it's even pink. It's a lot like the ORP grapefruit drink. Let's take a look at our fruit bar. Rip it open there. See, it's sort of a candied outside and a gelled inside. Let's give that a taste. The main fruit in this was apple, and I'm getting a little bit of that flavor. It's a little bit tart, which is surprising. I was expecting it to be more just straight sweet. Aside from the apple flavor, I'm tasting a lot of strawberry in it, and a little something extra. Maybe a little bit of a black currant flavor, actually. Well, that's a delectable little on-the-go treat. Let's take a look at this Sesame Bar. Kind of stuck to the tray there. See if we can break it. Oh, it actually snapped instead of bending. Let's look at the cross section. You have your 3 individual pieces fused together with that syrupy mix. Try to take a bite of that. Took off the little corner piece. Now, I love toasted sesame seeds. That's exactly what this tastes like. That tastes really good. It's sweet and it's nutty. I think it's the texture that's really off-putting to people with this. They don't like how chewy it is, but I don't mind that. Takes a little while to eat, but no big deal. Flavor-wise, it's good. And eating a bar that size is gonna occupy you for a long time. That is all in my teeth, which is a little bit inconvenient, but on taste alone, that gets a thumbs up for me. Let's try our weird little chocolate-like thing. See if we can break off a couple of these. It breaks very easily. Doesn't have much snap to it. I mean, it looks like chocolate. Let's see if it tastes like chocolate. Now that is interesting. It has a melt like chocolate. It might actually melt a little faster. It looks like it would be a dark chocolate. But this is so far from dark chocolate, it's not even funny. I'm trying to think of something that this is comparable to, but I've never had anything exactly like this before. It almost reminds me of that fake waxy chocolate on chocolate covered donuts. It's very, very sweet and just melts away super fast. That is weird. I can't say I'm a fan of that, but I'll probably end up eating that whole bar. Only thing left to try is the gum down the hatch. It's peppermint flavor, crunchy outer shell, gummy inside. Pretty standard stuff, but nice and refreshing and a good way to get the taste of that weird choco block bar out of your mouth. UN Patrol Combat Ration Pack, Occidental Menu number 2. This was a pretty solid ration. If this is what the UN troops are out there eating, they're eating pretty well. I really like the main. All the components are pretty good. None of them are really outstanding. The main is really the star of the show. This stuff though, the apple drink, that needs to be taken out behind the tool shed and done in because that stuff is disgusting. My life will be made better by never having to drink that ever again. Other than that, I found everything palatable, easily consumable, and it had a good FRH to boot. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you like this review, please give the video a thumbs up. I'll have more content like this coming in the future, so sub to the channel. Let me know what you thought about this ration down in the comments, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See you then. Peace.